So this slide's all about visuals, and really to complement your brand, it's great to have good visuals. So things like photography, illustration, video, animation, infographics, quotes and icons, and many more things as well. And here you can see a florist and how they could maybe use different types of visuals to showcase their work. So it could be something like photography. It could be perhaps videos, maybe showing some DIY elements because people love to learn. So that could be one way of showcasing your brand. And it could be things like infographics or some symbols as well, or icons. So there's lots of different ways you can show the same thing. If you're finding it difficult to think about what visuals to show for your brand, and it can be quite challenging if you're faced with a blank Instagram feed, for example, and what do you actually show? Some points to consider are things like behind the scenes or the process of making. Maybe some high quality product or service visual shots. And this is particularly important if you're making a physical product, to have some really good quality product shots as well. And actually showing some 360 views can also be really lovely to show what the product actually looks like. If it's something especially that people can't feel and touch in person, I think that's great to see that. And then also a call to action as well. So are you putting on an exhibition? Are you doing some sort of sale? Do you want people to attend an event or workshop? So a call to action could be a really good way of coming up with a visual as well. So this is an example of how a ceramicist might take all of these points through. So that here they're looking at behind the scenes, how they're making, how they're crafting. And they're simple things, just simple videos or simple stills of them doing this, but they are high quality and good imagery and visuals as well. And this is of the product as well. So again, one is just of still product shot, and the other one is how that product could be potentially used. And by showing these, you can show the customer how they might have that in their homes. So for example, how they could use those vessels for maybe a fancy dinner. Obviously, we can't have that at the moment, but it might be something to aspire to in the future. And then also things like this. So one of them is just a poster. So the one on the left is again a call to action, getting people to come to this event. They're using a mixture of graphic design and photography. And then also things like Instagram stories. You can also use that and a call to action. And you have these ready-made templates, but it could be using things like custom text or using things like custom visuals to make that personal to your brand as well. So your visuals, well, you can make them original and you can make them yourself. And that's the best thing for all of this. If you can make them yourself, please do. You can as well commission people to do things. So if there's some really important photography shots, you could get a photographer to do that. There's a lot of images available on the internet that are free for commercial use. So it's really important to check whether you're able to use them. And there's also a Creative Commons license available for many images as well. And that might let you use it with certain restrictions. For example, you might have to mention the author or the maker of that imagery or visual as well.